It's a late night ride down these YouTube streets where the grifters are scamming and the bullshit repeats. Betty's outside with her bullhorn loud, creeping on parents, yeah, she's making them proud. Brittany J's nodding off midstream, drooling on her mic while she chases a dream. And the green team's back with a Photoshop live scrap paste filter, now the kid's alive. Oh wait, who's that cutting through the static? J is for justice, bringing facts, no dramatics. Her cooters are loyal, her mods don't play. Try to fuck around, you'll get banned today. Oh, Jay and the cooters run this town, while the tragedy pimps just beg and clown. They twist the truth, they fake receipts, while Jay's bringing justice. No tricks, no cheats. Oh, don't fuck with the mods tonight. Betty's outside trying to bang on doors, while her chat drops cash like a broke-ass tour. She's screaming about justice, but where's that cash? Oh, right in her pocket, y'all got finesse fast. Brittany J's got a streaming mid-spin, somebody wake her up, she passed out again. Green team's out here with the fake-ass pics, turning missing kids into AI tricks. Jay's got the cooters holding it down, no clickbait here, just facts all around her mods. All the real ones blocking the trash, no trolls allowed, get the fuck out fast. Oh, Jay and the cooters run this town, while the tragedy pimps just beg and clown. They twist the truth, they fake receipts, while Jay's bringing justice. No tricks, no cheats. Oh, don't fuck with the mods tonight. Hush, little grifter, don't say a word. Jay's got the truth and your scam's been heard. And if the green team tries one more trick, we'll call their bluff, make them vanish quick. Betty's stalking, call the cops, Brittany's sleeping. Someone stop green team lying, expose that fraud. Jay and her mods goddamn are strong. So round and round the scammers go, begging for cash for the stolen show. But Jay and the cooters, they're built to last, bringing the truth while these fools grift fast. And the circus goes on. Oh, Jay and the cooters run this town, while the tragedy pimps just beg and clown. They twist the truth, they fake receipts, while Jay's bringing justice. No tricks, no cheats. Oh, don't fuck with the mods tonight.
Me of planting pants that I found. Get the hell out of here.
Hello, hello. Welcome back, Cooters. What is happening? Figured we could do a little chatting tonight. Chat. Hit that like button on your way in, and we're going to discuss what's going on in Summerwell's case. Because there was a lot of shiz going on. Welcome in. We got 3 things to watch here, okay? We've got this first one I'm going to play. Come on in. And I'm going to be stopping and commenting. Now, I want to preface this live by saying I was the first one to interview Don Wells after Summer Wells went missing June 15th, 2021. I talked to him in the very beginning of July, and the boys were still in their custody. And then I spoke with him again after the boys were taken. So I was involved from the very beginning, not really like not getting information or anything. I mean, I guess I was getting some information, but be switched? No, he's up for adoption. Let's not, I don't know where that would even be coming from. See, that's ridiculous. Okay, let's watch this first video. Wait a second. Why is my chat there? That's weird. Let's move it. Okay, so we're gonna discuss this shit. Here we go.
June 15th will mark 4 years since Summer Wells went missing from her Hawkins County home. Tennessee Bureau of Investigation agents have followed up on thousands of leads in Summer's disappearance over the last 4 years, but there still is no sign of her. News 5's Kristen Kwan recently sat down with the Wells family to talk about Summer's disappearance.
Dawn and Candace Wells, Summer's parents, say it's been a tough 4 years. The investigation is still hard for them to talk about, but they tell me they're doing the best they can and do believe they will see Summer again. The bench here in front of the Wells' home in Beech Creek, a loving tribute to a little girl who vanished from her home. Summer Wells' father, Don Wells, says the past 4 years have been a nightmare.
It's been really tough.
Wells says he's heartbroken, frustrated, just trying to take it day by day. And he still believes Summer was kidnapped from their home.
She was there 1 minute and the next she wasn't.
Wells says Summer's disappearance, on top of the cruelty they face from social media and the public, has made life even more difficult.
The social media groups would attack anybody that we knew, any employer that we worked for. And so it made it really hard for us to obtain employment and all these things. And but there's been people that's helped us, along the way, and we really appreciate that. That's for sure.
He's also frustrated with Hawkins County law enforcement and the Department of Children's Services. Dawn and Candace ultimately signed over their rights to their 3 boys to the state.
And tore our house apart 11 times. I've never even heard of that before. I mean, to me, that's, I don't know. It really hurt, the whole thing has really hurt me and Candace a lot, but we're still hanging in there for our kids and trying to do what's right. And then holding out hope that Summer will be found. Wells
clinging to his faith and has a message for his children.
Just that we love them very much and we'd like to see them come home. And we really want to see them, involved in our church and worship our God.
What? What? You signed over your children, dude. What? This is what I can't get down with. All right, I'm going to keep playing, but you're going to see in the next article, they signed off their rights. What is he talking about? This is weird. And quite frankly, it's not really fair to, especially the oldest boy, that he could see this. They're not getting him back. I just think this is mind fucking. What if Josie saw this? Weird.
It's a lot, but we're still hanging in there for our kids and trying to do what's right. And then holding out hope that Summer will be found.
Wells clinging to his faith and has a message for his children.
Just that we love them very much and we'd like to see them come home. And we really want to see them, involved in our church and worship our God in our church.
He knows what it means. He knows exactly what it means. Just wait.
On News 5 WC.
Okay, we'll end that one. Now look at this. Wait, maybe it's this one. All right, here we go. Let's read through this one. Okay, so this is dated June 11th, which is yesterday. It It's been 4 years too long, her father, Don Wells, said from his yard, one of the last places his daughter was known to be. My thoughts or feelings haven't changed. I mean, it's been heartbreak, continual heartbreak for the last 4 years. We love and miss her very much and wish that she could come home very much because she was kind of bossy boss around here. She was kind of the bossy boss around here, he said. We just miss our children, man. We had 4 children running around here. We haven't talked to law enforcement in a long time. We let Chris and Judy Colbaugh, our private detectives, deal with TBI in Hawkins County. It's just better that they do that. So he's saying here that they deal with Hawkins County, right? After Summer's disappearance, the Wells' 3 oldest boys were put into Department of Children's Services custody. Here's Don. We haven't received any updates from them. This is very important. Let me make this bigger. Because people have a lot of questions about him and what he's saying. And we just heard him say, oh, we want to get our kids back and do the right thing. Look at this. We haven't received any updates from them. No contact. And in fact, they deleted our phone number or blocked my phone. As soon as this is right here, as soon as we got done with that case and signed our children over. You signed them over. Do you think that they're going to keep an open case when you sign your kids over? So what I think happened, and this is just my opinion, I think they signed over rights in exchange for not getting any charges. You don't get your kids taken away for neglect or abuse and have them put up for adoption without there being some kind of a charge. Diana, I don't know what Josie said. I have no idea what any of the boys have said except for the video of Josie up for adoption. So I think it's really important to, read his words and understand that law enforcement hasn't cleared them. This is a simple thing that they signed over their rights of their kids, and therefore the case is closed. This ain't Candace's first rodeo with CPS or DHS or DCS, whatever you call them. She had another 2 kids in Wisconsin that were removed from her care, or she voluntarily gave up. There's 2 more children out there of Candace Wells. A total of 6 that have gone into the custody of the state. This isn't them being cleared. They didn't beat anybody. They didn't beat CPS. It's crazy. It's crazy. News Channel 11 inquired about the status of the Wells case with DCS. And this is what DCS said. Pursuant to state and federal law, DCS investigations are strictly confidential. We are unable to provide information for your request. The TBI declined to comment, and so did Hawkins County. So now we move over to this one, right? Parents of Summer Wells say DCS case has been dismissed. Yes, it certainly has been dismissed. But not because they beat the system. They are not going to get their kids back. They're not. That's not even a thing. They signed them over. It's right here in this article. After we signed over our kids, that's why. And where is everybody tonight? Where's all the cooters tonight? Summer Wells' father shared 2 documents online. So he released a video and statement on X, which I haven't watched yet. We're going to watch it, stating that the case that he and Candace Bly abused or neglected their 3 sons have been dropped. Don shared 2 documents online showing the order of dismissal with the caption stating in part, all opinions of abuse and neglect are dropped and unsubstantiated by judge order. That's because you signed over your rights. Welcome in, everybody. Come on in. I think that you have to consider that they have no children for there to be an open case with DCS. Canvas, you're here. Yes, it matters. Absolutely. I'm just curious where everybody is. Let's watch this video, though. Hopefully we don't get any ad. Fuck, man. Sorry.
Of Summer Wells said the Department of Children's Services has dropped a case against them. Summer, you might remember, went missing in East Tennessee 4 years ago. She would have turned 9 in February. Well, her parents posted on social media saying the state has cleared them of accusations that they either abused or neglected their sons. And so if Summer is found, she would be allowed to return home. The TBI has been looking for Summer since June of 2021. She disappeared from her Rogersville home. The family says they believe she was kidnapped, but investigators say there isn't any evidence of that.
That's it? Okay, we need to go to X then. And he's doing this on his Don Wells family. I don't know if I trust the motives behind this either. And I don't hate the Wells family. I don't believe this. Wait, hold on. Let's see. Okay, here's the video. Okay, here's this July 6th. Pictures of the 4 kids. A shattered heart is held by the strongest thread. There is God. Here we go. The Lord is my strength and my song. I'm sorry, I can't forget that there's motherfucking 6 kids out there that were neglected by this woman. I can't let that slide. I'm sorry, Candace. I can't. Because children are more important than you and your fucking social media. That's not what it means, Jackie. It means they signed their rights over. It's dismissed. It's done. I'm sorry. I can't get behind 6 kids being out there fucking in the hands of the state because of this. Because they can't do the right thing. I don't know.
Report to you that we've got official letters from the heads of DCS that we are cleared from any abuse or neglect on our parts towards our children. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Okay. All opinions of abuse or neglect are dropped and unsubstantiated by judge order. Then they add, if Summer's found, she can come home. They don't know that. I'm sorry. They don't know that. They can't say that. Our DCS case has been dismissed. All opinions of abuse and neglect are dropped and unsubstantiated by judge order. Okay, let's read this. An appeal, let me see. Let me make this bigger. I love that. Not abusers or neglect children. Candace, what about your 2 in Wisconsin? I'm sorry. You just can't ignore that shit. Okay, here we go. An appeal was filed on February 13th, 2025, with the Administrative Procedures Division of the Department of Children's Services, in which appellant requested an administrative hearing concerning his substantiation for child abuse or child neglect regarding investigation number da-da-da. An acknowledgement letter was issued on February the 25th, 2025. The hearing was scheduled to begin on May 13th, 2025. On April 21st, 2025, the department filed a notice of withdrawal and motion to dismiss, as the substantiation appealed by the appellant has been withdrawn. The appeal of the substantiation is moot. Therefore, the appeal of the substantiation against appellant is dismissed. Now, I think we need to have a lawyer break that verbiage down. But it seems to me that Don Wells and Candace Wells filed an appeal. I'm going to walk through this. I don't know if I'm correct, but an acknowledgement letter was issued on February 25th, 2025. The hearing was scheduled to begin May 13th, but in April, the department filed a notice of withdrawal and motion to dismiss, as the substantiation appealed by the appellant has been withdrawn. So it sounds to me like they filed an appeal and withdrew it. Based on the above findings and the applicable state statutes and Department of Children and Families policies, the classification established by the CPS division of the Department of Children's Services that appellant is the substantiated perpetrator in a validated case of child abuse or child neglect is withdrawn. The department is directed to change the classification to not substantiated. Further, the department is directed to take immediate and appropriate action to notify all parties previously notified of this investigation that they are no longer required to assure non-access to children by Don Wells. They are no longer required to assure non-access to children by Don Wells. DCS shall make this notification immediately upon receipt of this order. Assurance that this notification is properly and timely made is the responsibility of the Director of Due Process Procedures, Dana Scott. So they signed over rights to their kids to have the accusations unsubstantiated. No, Robat, he thinks they beat the system. I'm telling you, they didn't beat the system. They signed over their rights, therefore getting the charges dropped. It's just like a plea deal, if you will, right? It's like a plea deal, except their plea was their fucking kids. So yeah, they're clear. They can have another baby. And yeah, Summer might come home, but you know what? They'll be investigated right over again. It's just like a plea deal. Their son's not on an adoption site because these guys, they wrongfully accuse them. If they were wrongfully accused, they'd have a lawyer and those boys would be home. Yeah, but these guys weren't wrongly taken, Matt. That's the thing. Where's the Wells big lawyer? They signed over their rights as a deal to not be charged with neglect or abuse. So basically, they got away with neglect, is what they did, in exchange for their kids. Their kid wouldn't be on an adoption site publicly if they hadn't. And he said right in his own words that he signed them over right here. He said right here, as soon as we got done with that case and signed our children over. He told you right there what happened. They're not going to be charged with the neglect and abuse. They're done. They don't have to hold the kids from them because they're not their parents anymore. They're not their parents anymore, is basically what happened. That's a quote from Don Wells right here. No, they're not going to give you updates anymore. You signed your children over to them. You gave your children to the state. I can't. I can't. And I can't forget about the 2 in Wisconsin that Candace gave up willingly to escape charges there too. It's not what they're portraying it to be. And I don't like that. That's misinformation. I can't get down with that. So here's another doc they dropped. Let's read this one. Yes, exactly. The DCS case is moot, hence no children being in their care. Sipping Shine, Jay, I met them both and sadly I agree. I mean, I don't hate them, but you gotta look at everything as a whole, right? Yeah, I mean, they don't want those kids to have to get on the stand and testify. If they could get those parents to give up their rights and not have to charge these parents with anything, then these boys don't have to get on this fucking stand and talk about how they were raised and the things they saw. In my opinion, it protected them from having to testify against their own parents. Because that is not fucking fun. Don't you think these kids have been through enough? And now you got their dad saying in one breath, right here, we signed our children over. This is on June 11th, right? And then you've got him in a video on WJHL the very same day saying, oh, I want them to go to our church, and Josie, we want you home. And you can't do that to these kids. I don't believe it. What litigation? Don Wells is suing CPS? I'm not buying it. I think it's exactly what I think it is. But I don't hate these people. I just see the whole picture here. And they're just not being honest about it. Comes now respondent, State of Tennessee, Department of Children's Services, by and through counsel to file this notice of withdrawal and motion to dismiss the underlying case and the pending appeal filed before this court. As a basis for the motion, the department has withdrawn the substantiation of child abuse and or child neglect against the appellant. As appellant is no longer classified as a perpetrator of child abuse or child neglect, the appeal of the substantiation is moot and should be dismissed. So they dismissed it. They don't have kids anymore. It's done. It's over. The right were signed over years ago, not recently. Right, because they appealed it. They're like, why is this still open? Right? So yeah, they signed over their rights years ago. They knew they weren't getting their fucking kids back. But they filed an appeal this year because they wanted it closed. They don't want people on the internet calling them neglectful. They don't want the internet calling them child abusers. I don't know. I'm not buying it. Because if they were clear of charges, their kids wouldn't be there. A lawyer would have gotten their kids back in their care. I'm not buying it. I think the dismissal was in exchange for those kids. I mean, if there's litigation, where's the court documents? I want to read them. You know what I'm saying? If they're suing DCS, I want to read the case. No, I mean, they signed them over. So No, I mean, they have to do that. When someone signs over their children, just like I already told you, in Wisconsin, they did that. Candace signed over her rights to her two children in Wisconsin so that she wasn't charged with abuse. He's not personally suing them, so it's not going to have anything to do with his kids. They signed over their rights, white boy, it's done. It's done. I don't know why he's making videos on the news saying, you know, we want you in our church. I mean, that's fucked up. You sign over your children. I don't know, man. That's fucked up. This whole thing is fucked up. Word on the streets here is something else is going on behind the scenes. Like what? It doesn't say anything about them getting their, I mean, right here, he tells you what they did, y'all. He said right here. We signed them over. How do you lose 6 kids to the state? Yeah, who's the litigation between? I think he said other families. If they're not personally suing them, then what does that even mean? I think he said there were other families, but I'd like to read what's going on. I think it's part of a deal too, Elf. I really do. And hey, Kiwi. I mean, this just speaks volumes right here. Did you hear about the PI received a tip? No. 5,000 what? When did they stop fighting for their boys? Better yet, when did they start fighting for them? Right. Why did they sign them? Why did they sign them over years ago? You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't do anything, why would you sign rights to your kids over that? See, none of this makes sense. I would never sign rights to my kids over. I mean, were they threatened? Were they coerced? What's the deal? Like, but like I said, the same thing happened in Wisconsin. Candace's kids were abused. They were removed by the state. She signed over rights to the state. Therefore, in exchange, she wasn't charged. The new PI, I don't know anything about a new PI because he mentions the same ones. Chris and Trudy right here. We haven't talked to law enforcement in a long time. We let Chris and Trudy do our private detectives deal with TBI in Hawkins County. It's just better they do that. So, no, law enforcement doesn't contact them, but he says they don't want to talk to him. They let Chris and Trudy talk to him. So there's like another like stretch of the truth. Yeah, I know. I'm the one that talked to them when they got them, when they were removed. I know exactly what happened. I was there. Yes, the video of Josie gave us pride in our son, but seeing him marketed online like an Amazon product for sale is wrenching. Wow. Then why'd you sign over your rights? Are you fucking kidding me? No. The one I feel sorry for is poor Josie. Ugh. Josie, our letters to DCS wanted you to be home with us during this 4th year. Wait a minute. You sign over your kids and then you're writing letters to your son that you gave up? And you don't think this is a mind fuck to Josie? Wow. Wow. Whew. Josie, our letters to DCS wanted you home to be with us during this 4th year of your sister's disappearance. Tennessee law says you will be coming home because the DCS case is null and void. Our expectation is very high that you will arrive any day now. Your church, your pastor, your friends in Kingsport City Schools await you. You make us so proud. Regardless of what you may have heard, we never sold you out or what? Regardless of what you may have heard, we never sold you out or your brothers? What the fuck does that mean? Sold you out? Okay. Our love has only grown. And best of all, God has always been with you, caring and protecting. You are our eldest, and one day will be head of this family. Shine, son. See you soon. Huh? Do we need to go back to this? You signed your rights over. I'm stunned by this. I don't know if someone's feeding them garbage, but you're the reason your son's on a site like Amazon. This is wild. All right, so let's listen to this. This is from today. I'm sorry, guys. I just get fired up over children. Okay? I don't give a damn about these adults. I don't fucking care. Okay? I don't. I care about the kids.
That we knew.
It's been 4 years now. What do you think when that comes to mind?
It's been really tough. The social media groups would attack anybody that we knew, any employer that we worked for. And so it made it really hard for us to obtain employment and all these things. But
is Tim Mullins still involved?
There's been people that's helped us, along the way, and we really appreciate that. That's for sure. But we're just hoping, God will turn it all around.
Do you still hold on to hope that Summer will be found one day?
We hope and pray all the time for that, and we hope so. She could be anywhere. We don't know. Only, we just got to hang on to that hope and just do our best to, do what's right.
Do you stay in the area in hopes that she will come back?
Many times I've wanted to go back out west and everything else, but this whole thing has tied us down to right here. We can't do anything, not really. This whole thing's tied us down to this area for 4 years now.
Have you heard anything new from police recently?
No, I don't think that's really kind of a tough question. For one thing, law enforcement and to me it seems like law enforcement and me and her as parents or whatever do not get along. They see things quite differently, kind of insulting and insinuating, and to me it seems like they kind of look down on you a lot. It hasn't been very good. They tore our house apart 11 times. Why? Why? That just don't even make sense. They searched and tore our house apart 11 times.
Because your daughter went missing from your fucking house. That's why. I have never heard Chris Proudfoot ever fucking complain about how many times they've come to the house in the search for Sebastian. Come to my house as much as you fucking need to.
Times. I've never even heard of that before. To me, that's, I don't know. It really hurt. The whole thing has really hurt me and Candace a lot, but we're still hanging in there for our kids and trying to do what's right. And holding out hope that Summer will be found.
Does it give you hope that the investigation is not cold? TBI says it's not a cold case, by the way.
Well, I mean, they can only do so much. I mean, I think there was a lot more going on during the Biden administration.
Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me right now? The Biden administration. Come on.
I think there was a lot more going on during the Biden administration that they're just starting to scratch the surface of. And hopefully they'll continue with a lot of this investigative work. And
What does that have to do with the investigation into Summer Wells' disappearance?
we've heard stories, you know, that of things going on and higher ups and stuff, but, you know, lawsuits and other things, but I don't know.
Do you still believe she was taken by somebody? Of course he does.
Well, we know she was, you know what I mean? She was there one minute and the next she wasn't, you know. Down the dog trail, I think so, because that search dog, you know, and I've said it before, you know, that search dog, when it first smelled her clothing or whatever it was, that dog went straight down that dog trail and then lost its scent by the roadside. And I don't know.
A lot of cases look cold to us because they don't share their evidence with the public. That's why.
The policeman said that, I don't know, there's a couple different things. I don't know. It's hard to say.
There was a couple different things. Okay. And then here, we already looked at this one. So I thought we could take a little road trip back in time. Hold on. Yeah, they know she was. Obviously, I mean, they didn't do anything to her, so she had to have been abducted, right? I mean, that's what they've been saying for 4 years. Okay, so here is my interview with Don. Let's listen to some of this. This is from July 3rd of 2021. Again, July 3rd, 2021. Summer Wells went missing June 15th, 2021.
Hey everyone, welcome to J is for Justice. My name is Jay and I'm your host today. I have a special interview for you guys. I have Donald Wells. We're going to be talking to him. He is an open book, you guys. He's going to answer questions and talk to us openly and candidly. And without further ado, I'm just going to add him right here. All right, Don, we are live. Are you there?
Yep, I'm sure.
All right. I just want to make sure everybody that's watching can hear Don okay.
Uh-huh.
So I want to thank you, Don, for taking some time out of your day to talk to me. I know we just talked quite a bit on the phone, and it'll probably be a lot of repeat things that we already talked about, so I apologize. So yeah, thanks for taking the time out to do this. So why don't we start? I know since we talked about this, we were kind of all over the place in our conversation, but why don't you tell me a little bit about when you found out that you and Candace were having a girl?
Well, I mean, I was excited or anything, but I didn't expect anything like what I got. She's been a little angel, and she has just been so awesome, you know. I just didn't expect anything like that. I didn't expect her to just cling to me for the first 18 months, 2 years, I don't remember, but she wouldn't go to nobody but me, and I didn't expect that. That was just so awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And you were saying, you know, you had that bond with her, and she just was daddy's girl.
Yeah, I could just say one word in a back home or something, and she would just break down and bawl, and I'd have to just, Summer, I'm sorry, I have to tell her sorry, you know, 10 times, but anybody else say anything to her, it didn't bother her whatsoever. But me, she just, I don't know, I'd tear her up if I said anything to her. So this is just killing me for her being gone. It's literally just so hard.
I know. I can hear it in your voice, and in your interviews, I can see it on your face.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the interview that you and Candace just did. And you know, some of the rumors and speculations that are being talked about.
Right.
First of all, let's talk about drugs. I mean, let's just get it out of the way. Let's just get it out of the way. Is your wife currently on any drugs?
Zero. No.
Nothing for anxiety, nothing.
Nothing. No.
Okay.
I mean, she's even trying to quit drinking at this point, you know, because the church, you know, and everything like that.
Right.
So she's trying to give up everything. Yes.
Right.
And,
So your religion, your Seventh-day Adventist is your religion.
Okay, let me pause right here. When I was interviewing him, they were at a water park with the boys. You hear the screaming in the background? Those are the boys playing. You're going to hear him ask the boys how old they are in just a few minutes.
And you were telling me that you were raised as a Mormon, which I thought was interesting. Yeah. So how long have you been practicing the Seventh-day Adventist religion?
Well, I read Ellen White's book, you know, years ago, but you know, it's just been a slow process. And eventually, you know, one day I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to the church, because I was looking on YouTube and I was checking out the Bible Thought Box, and then I eventually found out that he was a Seventh-day Adventist. He says, you know, you need to go to a Seventh-day or a Saturday going church, and he said he recommended a Seventh-day Adventist. So I checked that out. I thought, I'm just going to go one time. And
so he said he got the Seventh-day Adventist idea from the Bible Thought Box. I never caught that before. The Bible Thought Box on YouTube.
And so it's been, you know, over a year and a half. We've been involved with that church. I've been going ever since.
It's been the same church, you guys.
Yeah.
And that's the church where Summer has bonded with a lot of the members.
Yes, yes.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about that, how she would be at church and what she would do?
Well, people, you know, at first they'd try to, you know, you got to sit down and everything, but she refused. She would go from people to people to people, and you can see in some of the videos, you know, where she goes to Robin on stage and asks her to pick her up, and she would every time, you know, just.
Everybody just loved her.
Yeah, everybody kind of give up on the idea of having her sit still. Yeah.
They just knew that was how she was going to be.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Thanks, Tripper.
All right. So a little bit more about that interview. I know a lot of people are reading, you know, looking at you guys, what you say, what you do, how you look, everything else, you know.
Right.
Is there anything that you want to say to the public that you haven't been able to, or you haven't been able to convey in the interviews that you've done?
And I want to just say right here, pause for a second. I did not judge these people out the gate, okay? I'm sitting here 4 years later reflecting on a case that I followed for 4 years. Thank you, Northern Beans. I actually have it sped up. Is it too fast? Do you want me to slow it down? Let me know.
Not really. Just trying hard to, you know, be a commandment keeper. Especially, you know, I've been kind of lukewarm, and since this has happened this summer, I promise God, no matter what the outcome, I'm going full bore to commandment keeper and doing everything I can, because I want to be with my church family, all my fellow human beings and commandment keepers in the resurrection. I want to be there, and I want to see my.
So there's the resurrection. He also said that to the news, but he told me as well.
Because I want to be with my church family, all my fellow human beings and commandment keepers in the resurrection. I want to be there, and I want to see my kids there, and anybody, you know, who's wanting to do the same thing, you know.
Okay, and you mentioned the resurrection. I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to ask you a question about that before we move on. In an interview that you did, I think it was an interview you were standing and your son was next to you. You had your arm around him.
Yeah, which is Josie. And you remember the kid looked scared to death, didn't look up. It was horrible. He should have never been put on the news.
Yeah.
They asked something about Summer, and you said, well, we believe in the resurrection. So what did you mean by that?
Well, what I meant is if she's not found, or in the worst case scenario, for my own sanity, like if it wasn't for my beliefs and stuff, I would have lost it long ago.
Right.
I mean, there's no way I can handle this without God. There is no way.
Right.
I know that. The way
Hi, Danny.
gravity of it's way too much. I know there's no way. But so I have to put my trust in God and pray and beg that He'll bring her back, hopefully. But
That he'll bring her back, hopefully. Listen close. I'm gonna play him on regular speed because I want you guys to really hear what he's saying.
I know that the way.
I think sometimes we play things fast and we don't really get what they're saying. And it kind of annoys me sometimes because sometimes the words are important.
If it wasn't for my beliefs in this stuff, I would have lost it long ago.
Right.
I mean, there's no way I can handle this without God. There is no way.
Right.
I know that the weight of it and gravity of it's way too much. I know there's no way, but so I have to put my trust in God and pray and beg that He'll bring her back, hopefully. But worst case scenario, there's the resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
See, worst case scenario, there's the resurrection. Hey, Skolnick.
You know, and I know I'll see her there. I mean,
A lot of people thought.
Right there. The worst case scenario is the resurrection, and I know I'll see her there.
hopefully, but worst case scenario, there's the resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I know I'll see her there. I mean,
A lot of people thought that you sounded very just like you had it.
I know I'll see her there. Not if you die before she does. Or do you know something we don't? Because if your kid's alive and you die, you're not going to see them in the resurrection.
you know, there's the resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I know I'll see her there. I mean,
A lot of people thought that you sounded very just like you had accepted that.
well, I'm just accepting that God is in control, not me. Or when you got half the country's police force out here, you know, with all these helicopters flying for days on end and heat-seeking airplanes at night, and half the country's, you know, police force and all these other outfits here, and they can't find her, and you know, they're powerless to find her. But God knows where she's at.
Okay, so he's saying that the search was so extensive that he already had to hand it over to God. Right? I mean, look at him. He's like, they got half the country's force out there looking for her with helicopters and heat-seeking planes. If they can't find her, I just got to rely on God. You can't say that they didn't do anything, Don.
God is in control, not me. Or when you got half the country's police force out here, you know, with all these helicopters flying for days on end and heat-seeking airplanes at night, and half the country's, you know, police force and all these other outfits here, and they can't find her, and you know, they're powerless to find her. But God knows where she's at, and I have to put my full faith in Him.
So what you meant by that was just you're putting your faith in God and that she's going to
Yeah.
be okay.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that she's going to be okay, you know, because she could be anywhere. I mean, it's hard. We don't know. Nobody knows.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I'd say a parent's faith and what they do might impact God's judgment in the end, no matter what one of your children go through. I mean, say, for instance, one of your kids overdoses on drugs or something, you know, that's tough.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tough situation.
Absolutely.
But I think
Now, why would he use that metaphor?
you know, I'd say a parent's faith and what they do might impact God's judgment in the end, no matter what one of your children go through. I mean, say, for instance, one of your kids overdoses on drugs or something, you know, that's tough.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tough situation.
Absolutely.
But I think God will consider, hopefully, what their parents do and what, you know, stuff like that, hopefully.
What her parents do? Wait a minute. I never caught this either. Jay, do the Adventists believe God punishes children for what parents do? He said, he said what her parents do. Listen to that part again, guys.
Faith and what they do might impact. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that she's going to be okay, you know, because she could be anywhere. I mean, it's hard. We don't know. Nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'd say a parent's faith and what they do might impact God's judgment in the end, no matter what one of your children go through. I mean, say for instance, one of your kids overdoses on drugs or something, that's tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation.
Absolutely.
But I think God will consider, hopefully, what parents do. And
So if one of your kid ODs on drugs, hopefully God will consider what her parents do and judge them accordingly.
what stuff like that, hopefully. Because what if she is forced to do drugs and grows up in this negative way or this negative country or who knows what?
What if she's forced to do drugs, grows up in this negative way? Why would that reflect on him if he didn't give her the drugs? No, it doesn't sound good at all.
One of your kids overdoses on drugs or something, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
It's a tough situation,
That's a tough situation.
Absolutely.
I think God will consider, hopefully, what parents do and what stuff like that, hopefully. Because what if she is forced to do drugs and grows up in this negative way or this negative country or who knows what, and and she gets killed or whatever, and she's not in the church. I wasn't able to bring her up to church like I wanted to. So what if,
Right, but it's kind of like what we talked about on the phone before. Like,
right.
she's the little innocent kid,
Right.
She's a little innocent kid.
And God, and the good thing
And
about
that is exactly what I was thinking, Sarah, because that's exactly why I said she's a little innocent kid. Like, what are we talking about?
to bring her up to church like I wanted to. So what if,
Right, but it's kind of like what we talked about on the phone before. Like,
right.
she's the little innocent kid,
Right.
She's a little innocent kid.
And God, and the good thing about that, Jesus being the judge, he's also your lawyer.
Right?
So
Yep.
definitely I'm going to do everything I can, to sway God and to, well, you can't sway God, but I mean, I'm going to,
Right. To get your message to him.
do right and to do everything I can.
To sway God. Did you catch that? Did you catch that?
So
Yep.
definitely I'm going to do everything I can, to sway God and to, well, you can't sway God, but I mean, I'm going to,
Right. To get your message to him.
do right and to
Alabama.
I
Wait, I
can.
got to pause. Where's Alabama's here? How are you? Give us an update, girl.
kids' sake, yes.
So-
She's got my heart so bad that that's all I want to do. That's all I can think about. I read scriptures and
What are you and Candace and the boys spending your time doing right now?
well, right now we're at the swim park thing, whatever it is, and kids are playing and having a great time. But me, I'm just sitting here watching them till we leave.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you just have that sick feeling in your stomach, just
Yeah.
constant.
I don't think it's gonna go away.
I'm so sorry, Don. I
it's okay.
really am. I know this is really super hard, and you're doing a great job. You really are.
Thank you.
Okay, so can we go to that day? Can we go to June 15th now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I know Hunter's mother did an interview with another YouTube channel where she spoke about Candace coming and picking up Hunter and asking if he wanted to go fishing that day
Well,
with Summer.
They've been kind of friends, for a long time. Inviting them out to our house where they could play because, where they were living, it was pretty bad. But
So Candace and
Wait,
Hunter's
wait,
mom
wait,
were
wait.
friends?
yes.
Oh.
What did he just say? They would come to their house to play because their house was bad? What?
That day
Well,
with Summer
They've been kind of friends, for a long time. Inviting them out to our house where they could play because, where they were living, it was pretty bad. But
So Candace and Hunter's mom were.
They would invite the kids over to play, and then he ends up telling me, like, oh, I don't know their mom's name. Listen to this shit. Listen. I remember this now.
Hunter and asking if he wanted to go fishing that day with Summer.
They've been kind of friends, for a long time. Invite them out to our house where they could play because, where they were living, it was pretty bad. But
So Candace and Hunter's mom were friends?
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
and all the other kids that they have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have several other kids, and but Hunter wanted to go to the lake. He was going to go swimming while he's waiting on her to fill a prescription or whatever. They're always doing stuff with Summer, as you can see in the pictures.
Is it ironic that he just talked about a drug overdose? They picked up a prescription that day that Summer died.
One here and there, but I'm always at work to support everything, which is fine.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And
But he's
you're a
fine.
hard worker. You work and you do drywall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a hard job. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
physical labor.
It takes all your time, for sure.
Absolutely, especially when you're raising a big family like you guys have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you got quite a few. How many of you guys have? 4, right? 3 boys
Yeah.
and Summer.
Yes.
Yep. I had 3, so I know you got your hands full there.
Right.
So, so she goes over, but were her and Hunter's mom on good terms at this time, or were they?
Yeah, they were, and I don't understand why. Well,
'Cause-
something to do with that little girl, Truey, was supposedly having sex with a 12-year-old, and
Now,
You hear this shit? I said, why aren't they on good terms? He said that Allie's daughter, Truey, was having sex with a 12-year-old. The first time I talked to this guy, this kind of stuff comes out. In Alabama, I'm praying for you, girl. Just take it easy.
at this time, or were they?
yeah, they were, and I don't understand why. Well,
'Cause-
something to do with that little girl, Truey, was supposedly having sex with a 12-year-old, and
Now,
she
who is
wanted-
this?
that's with one of their daughters. That's these people, Hunter's sister.
Oh,
was
Hunter's
having-
sister. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
It was like having sex with a 12-year-old, and she wanted my wife to lie to the police about it, and my wife ain't gonna lie to the police.
And my wife said, I'm not going to lie to the police. Where's the report about this? Who went to the police?
So she.
Oh, wow.
This is where all this. She got mad about it, and they're trying to do everything they can to hurt us at this point.
Oh, I see.
They're trying to do everything they can to hurt us at this point.
Okay, so at the time though, on the 15th, when Candace went over there, they were cool. They were all right.
Right, exactly.
And then
Yes.
so she went to see the mom. I'm sorry, I don't know her first name. What's Hunter's mom's first name?
I can't remember.
All right.
Allie.
I can't remember. Listen, Ellie, I can't remember.
I'm sorry, I don't know her first name. What's Hunter's mom's first name?
I can't remember.
All right.
Allie or
We'll just call her
Sherry.
Hunter's mom.
Sherry or Allie, I don't.
We'll just call her Hunter's mom.
Okay.
Okay, so she goes over to see Hunter's mom, and then she asks Hunter to go to the state park with them.
Yeah.
Who was all with Candace? Give- that you-
Candace's mother.
Okay.
Summer, Wyatt and Waylon, and Wyatt, Waylon, Josie, my other 3 boys, and
So all the boys were there too.
well, they either that or the boys stayed here. I'm really unclear on that for sure.
He was unclear. This threw me through a loop. He said all the boys were with her ass. And then he said, I'm unclear on whether the boys were home or not. Hear that shit?
I'm not
Okay.
Listen.
Wyatt and Waylon, and Wyatt, Waylon, Josie, my other 3 boys, and
So all the boys were there too.
well, they either that or the boys stayed here. I'm really unclear on that for sure. I'm
Okay.
not sure.
I know it's been tossed around that the boys
Yeah.
weren't there. And
They may
everybody
not
was
have
like,
been.
why were the boys at home?
Yes, Julie, this is me 4 years ago. 4 years younger.
And
Yeah.
she's taken this 15-year-old boy to the state park with Summer.
Right. Yeah, I'm unclear on that. I really don't know for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate you, being honest that you don't, that
Yeah,
you're
of
unclear.
course.
Okay, so but he does go with Candace to the state park,
Yeah.
and Summer's there, and they swim and they fish
Yeah.
or they do whatever, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's like a normal place they usually go to go swimming.
Yeah, it's real shallow there. It's pretty safe.
Yeah, it looked
Well,
like Summer when she was standing. It was like her
Yeah.
waist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty safe there.
Okay, so she drops Hunter off at his house
Right.
that afternoon at like 2:30 or whatever the time,
Yeah.
2:30.
Picked up her prescription. That's why you see Summer asleep in the back of the truck there, because she's just tuckered out.
Yes, and that's what I wanted to.
Okay. So we're putting some things together here. Women are sacred. Take care of you, hon. We have him talking to me about if your kid overdoses on drugs. We have them picking up the prescription, and we have Summer tuckered out in the back seat with the picture, the video, whatever.
Ask you about
Yeah.
that picture.
Yeah.
So she's 30 or whatever the time,
Yeah.
2:30.
Picked up her prescription. That's why you see Summer asleep in the back of the truck there, because she's.
Wait. They picked up her prescription. That's why you see Summer in the back seat, tuckered out. What? Listen to that again.
Right.
That afternoon at like 2:30 or whatever the time,
Yeah.
2:30.
Picked up her prescription. That's why you see Summer asleep in the back of the truck there, because she's just tuckered out.
Yeah.
What? What is that? Why did he talk about the prescription and then go right into Summer being passed out in the back?
Afternoon at like 2:30 or whatever the time,
Yeah.
2:30.
Picked up her prescription. That's why you see Summer asleep in the back of the truck there, because she's just tuckered out.
Yes, and that's what I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
That picture.
Yeah.
So she's back there, and someone had put a side by side of her hands.
Yeah.
Did you see this on YouTube?
I heard some about it.
Yeah, I know you've seen some of the stuff.
Yeah, he said, and that's why they picked up the prescription. That's why she's tuckered out in the back seat.
I didn't pay no attention to it, though.
Yeah, I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to the hand thing, but I did, I looked at her in the back seat, and she's got like the couple gallons of milk. So I'm assuming they went shopping or went to the store.
Yeah.
To get some groceries or
pull up the
some milk,
picture.
and she's kind of, just leaned against it. It looks to me like she's sleeping.
Yeah, definitely.
And Candace took a picture of her sleeping.
Right.
Is that a picture or is that a TikTok video? Something
That's
like
a
that.
picture, I think.
Okay. So she takes this picture, and this is on the way back from swimming.
Yeah.
All right. So then Grandma, Summer, and Mom go home, and they're outside in the garden.
Yeah. They said they were planting flowers, but actually it was some kind of like cactus flower. Or
Oh,
something
okay.
Like that.
Well,
Yeah,
whatever. They were tinkering
whatever
around
it
in the
was.
yard.
Oh my goodness. They were planting flowers. Yeah, I don't like this at all. Here's my sound bite from 4 years ago, by the way.
She said, we came home, we planted flowers on the side of the house.
I don't think she was tuckered out from swimming. They weren't there that long. She was a very active 5-year-old little girl. She wasn't a little girl who napped. And little girls don't typically nap against cold ass gallons of milk. Do they?
Right. So then Grandma, Summer, and Mom go home, and they're outside in the garden.
Yeah, they said they were planting flowers, but actually it was some kind of like cactus flower or
Oh,
something
okay.
like that.
Well,
Yeah,
whatever. They were tinking
whatever
around in
it
the yard,
was.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they're outside, and then Summer's outside playing, and the boys were all inside, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So then Summer says, I want to go inside with the boys.
right.
So she goes in. Mom walks her like halfway to the house.
Yeah.
And she goes in.
Watched her go in the door, make sure she made it to the door. And then, yeah.
So
Then
she
told the
actually
boys-
physically saw Summer walk
Yes,
through the door.
Yes, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then Summer goes inside and Mom stays outside with Grandma.
Yeah.
Okay.
She helped her get her brace on her knee. And then, about 2, 3, 4 minutes, who knows, come back in the house and she asked the boys, where's Summer? Well, she went down to play with her toys. So she hollered twice for her. She didn't answer. So she went down there looking for her. And we never seen her again. And
So
the
she
boys
had a
are-
toy, like her toys were downstairs in your
her-
basement.
yeah, it was her and Waylon's room down there.
Oh,
And we had
okay.
the boys sleeping upstairs. And some of the boys have a bad habit of leaving that basement door unlocked, too. And
Well, I'm
and
sure they're probably up
yeah.
and down since bedrooms are
Yeah.
down there. That's got to
Yeah.
be hard to keep it locked.
So if someone abducted her, we don't know if they come in the basement or if Summer might have stepped outside and walked around the back of the house.
Okay. So let's talk about the basement. Do you remember the secret stairs? The stairs that were built into the countertop? Do you remember that? No one would know stairs were there. No one would know that. Hang on, let me find that because that tells the whole damn story. That was on the interview room. Summer Wells. We're going to watch McDonuts go down the weird stairs. Here it is, right here. Oh, let me introduce you to the Wells house. Remember he said that the other kids would have to come to their house because their house was so bad. It was so bad that they came over to play at the Wells. Okay? Watch.
He was already in there. I walked over, I said, quiet. And he looked at me and I said, watch Sissy, I'll be right back. And that's when I walked back over to my mom's.
Okay.
And I was fixing her brace and stuff like that. And I said, well, Mom, I got to go back over with the kids. And that's when I come back up into the house.
Okay.
With the boys.
Okay.
Not that.
You walked into the house.
I walked into here.
He almost falls.
Get up. I walked in here and them three were sitting right here in row with their eyes glued to the TV, like always.
Be cheesy.
Where's your sister at? Well, she just went downstairs, Mom, to play. So I went over here like this, because this is where the stairs are.
Okay. This is where the stairs are. Watch. This is where the stairs are, because this is normal.
Down under there.
Oh, down into her
down into
bedroom.
Our bedroom, and then hers is on the other side.
Yeah, because this is normal.
Oh, okay, in the basement.
Yeah, in the basement.
Well, this makes sense now, see?
And then
Yeah, it sure does, doesn't it, McDonough?
I yelled and I said, Summer, Summer. And she didn't, I listened for a minute, I didn't hear nothing. So I went like this, because this is how I always get down here.
Yeah.
Look at this. Watch.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to come down here or not.
Do I got to be tiny to get in there?
No, you should.
Can we come in from the other side?
Well, we can, but it'd make more sense if you went this way.
Okay, I'll follow you. Oh, man. Good grief,
No, I know
girl.
if my 6-foot husband can fit down here, you can.
Huh?
My husband's 6 foot, I know if he can fit, you can.
This... Oh, my gosh. Way to go.
This is mine.
Oh, and look, remember what was on the TV? Girls Gone Wild?
Oh,
Watch.
gosh.
Tell me fucking Don wasn't laying in that bed
6 foot, I know if he
and ran out when when Dukel got there. Watch.
can fit, you can.
Okay, wait. I'm going to mute it. You guys, this is funny as hell. I mean, not really funny. It's actually kind of disturbing. I put it on slow-mo and muted her so you guys can see. Yeah, this is the Candace and Don bedroom. Yeah, Summer went down in this dark dungeon to play in the middle of the day instead of planting flowers outside, right? Because that's normal for a little girl. This is where they have this video equipment. Weird thing that looked like there used to be a camera on the wall. I've studied this a million times over. This is Summer's bedroom. I don't know how anybody can defend these people. I just, I can't get down with this shit. This is why they sign their kids over, guys. Okay? This is not fit for a child. I don't like all this video equipment either because I can't see kids sitting down there watching movies. Like, oh, it's really cozy. See that black thing on the wall? Hold on. See that black thing on the wall? Summer's bed was right there. Just saying. This is her bedroom you're looking at. This is Summer Wells' bedroom. Yeah, we're not really talking about whether they did something to Summer or not. We're talking about the DCS thing. I'm really curious in this video equipment because it looks really cozy with bean bags and stuff, so the kids can watch movies. I don't know. But this is why they signed their kids over, y'all. They were going to face charges for the neglect and a possible abuse, I'm sure. And we'll watch this on regular speed after. But I just wanted you guys to get a good visual of this little 5-year-old girl's bedroom. If it's all they know, it would be nothing to them. Yeah, but when you have, they were going to church, okay? They know that not everybody lives like this. They know that not every little girl's bedroom is in a basement. They know that. I find it interesting they have all this video equipment down there. I don't like it. Do they know for sure she made it home? Silly goose. It's Candace's word, I reckon. I wouldn't even want my dog in this basement. Are you fucking kidding me? Same house Don took showers with Summer. He admitted that as well. Yeah, it's. I'm not downplaying it, dude. I can't imagine a little 5-year-old little girl in this basement. It's. Oh yeah, can I go outside from a nice sunny day where my mom and grandma are planting flowers and go down in this dark dungeon and play with my toys? I don't buy it. I'm sorry, and that's what makes me think they're lying. All right, let's watch this on regular speed now. But let's look at the stairs again.
Over to my mom's.
Okay.
And I was fixing her brace and stuff like that. And I said, well, Mom, I got to go back over with the kids. And that's when I come back up into the house.
Okay.
Okay, but Liza, their kids aren't all missing, are they? That's why we're looking at it, right? That's what drew attention to them, was their daughter disappearing off the face of the earth.
Boys.
Okay.
Not that.
You walked into the house.
I walked into here.
Yep, couldn't find the camera.
Get up. I walked in here and them three were sitting right here in front with their eyes glued to the TV, like always.
Yeah,
I said,
this
boys,
is...
where's your sister at? Well, she just went downstairs, Mom, to play. So and I said,
This is where they were sitting with the toilet paper at this table playing games.
boys, where's your sister at? Well, she just went downstairs, Mom, to play. So I went over here like this, because this is where the stairs are.
Okay.
It's actually down under there.
Oh, down into her
Down into
bedroom.
our bedroom, and then hers is on the other side.
Oh, okay, in the basement.
Yeah, in the basement.
Well, this makes sense now, see?
And then I yelled and I said, Summer, Summer. And she didn't, I listened for a minute, I didn't hear nothing. So I went like this, because this is how I always get down here.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if you want to come down here or not.
Do I got to be tiny to get in there?
No, you should.
Can we come in from the other side?
Well, we can, but it'd make more sense if you went this way.
Okay, I'll follow you. Oh, man. Good.
And you know what? If you guys that think, oh, if they didn't know any better, they wouldn't live this, wouldn't live this way. Are you saying they also don't know better than to sleep naked with their little kids? I mean, he also admitted to essaying his sisters. We just can't ignore all the facts put together.
But how does it fit down here? You can.
Huh?
My husband's 6 foot. I know if he can fit, you can.
This. Oh, my gosh. Way to go.
This is my husband's room.
Okay.
And over here, well, it's a mess again.
That's all right.
But this is where Summer and little Waylon was. Because Waylon's only 9.
Okay.
And they stayed down here. And these are all her toys, all her Paw Patrols,
All her movies. She's got a movie about the Savior.
The boys I brought back down here after.
See, Chris called her out. Oh, these are all her movies. She's got a movie about the Savior. So there was a movie about Jesus put there.
She went missing because I didn't want them upstairs by themselves anymore.
Okay. And this is all her.
Wait, what'd she say?
All her movies. She's got a movie about the Savior.
The boys I brought back down here after she went missing because I didn't want them upstairs by themselves anymore.
Okay. And this is all her toys.
All her toys. All these toys that are down here are dang are all hers, except for like the trucks and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the game system. That's the boys'.
Okay.
But them are all her toys.
And she's really into Paw Patrol. I see
Yeah,
that.
I've been collecting from day one. And these are all her little ponies that I've bought. And then these are them girls that she likes. Them new fashion.
Yeah, and that's another problem too. Sharing a room with her brother ain't not going to be good when CPS comes to your house.
I don't know what they are, little princesses or whatever.
Oh, and Cheryl, great point. Don built houses. He knew other people didn't live like that.
She's like all kinds. Here's one of them bracelets.
Oh, that's just one of them what do they call these? Oh, this is little pony bracelets.
Yeah, I don't know what they were really called, but she liked them, and so I just every time I go to the garage sale, I'd buy her what she wanted.
Okay.
You know.
Notice how McDonough is zooming in on those electronics so that he can zoom in later and see what the fuck's over there. Watch that again.
I just every time I go to the garage sale, I'd buy her what she wanted.
Okay.
You know, whenever I got a little bit of money, I spend it on the kids.
Yeah, this is her.
See how he zoomed in on that camera too? He ain't dumb. He ain't dumb. You may not like him, but he ain't dumb. Yes, there is, silly goose. There's a door down there. And Amy, good point. Why would you want the boys down there after? If she went missing from downstairs, why would you want them downstairs instead of upstairs alone? Doesn't make sense. And the reason they said they shaved her head, Don told the news that Candace did it with the boys, and she wanted to be like her mom. No, and no, and no, and no. Little girls don't want boy haircuts. No, they don't. They want ponytails, and they want braids, and they want long hair like they're fucking Barbies.
Oh, this is a little pony bracelets.
Yeah, I don't know what they were really called, but she liked them, and so I just, every time I go to the garage sale, I'd buy her what she wanted.
Okay.
You know, whenever I got a little bit of money, I spend it on the kids.
Zoom.
Yeah, this is her, this is, I understand.
On the kids.
Watch.
Yeah, this is her,
You can see the fucking cord. Look.
Whenever I got a little bit of money, I spend it on the kids.
See the white? That's a fucking camera. See the white cord? It's all connected to that fucking video equipment, guys. They ain't fooling fucking nobody. I see this was such a different like he zoomed in on those VHS tapes too, didn't he?
This is one of them, what do they call these? Oh, this is a little pony bracelets.
Yeah, I don't know what they were really called, but she liked them, and so I just, every time I go to the garage sale, I'd buy her what she wanted.
Okay.
You know, whenever I got a little bit of money, I spend it on the kids.
Yeah, this is her, this is, I understand her now.
Yeah.
Even better. Thank you.
Hear him? I understand her better now. He is fucking shocked at what he just saw. This fucking equipment and this camera.
You know, whenever I got a little bit of money, I spend it on the kids.
Yeah, this is her, this is, I understand her now.
Yeah.
Even better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is really important.
But yeah, I come down and I searched, I looked up underneath the bed.
See all the wires? Those are all to that fucking camera.
You're welcome.
This is really important.
But yeah, I come down and I searched, I looked up underneath the beds under there. We can't really get on, I can't get under there.
Yeah, yeah.
But I looked under there.
Chris knows what the fuck he's looking for. He's showing the whole wire going across the wall to the fucking camera.
I looked under every blanket I could possibly look under.
Yep.
And then I come over here and I looked on both sides, I didn't see her nowhere. And
Now we're in Don and Candace's bedroom. Watch.
I don't recall if this was locked or not. I don't recall.
You know what? It could be Soto, but there's a lot of cases in 4 years. And watching this with like 4 years later is wild. I think Chris was absolutely shaken when he went down there. Seeing the door in the fucking counter.
Okay.
But I know it's hard on me. But I know
Jay, have you seen the pictures that was in his camera roll? Who?
I did come out here and I said, Summer. Because sometimes she'll sit right here. And just,
So this is where you can go out. Summer's room had a door to the outside.
but I know
See?
I did come out here and I said, Summer.
See? Right here. And you know what else? Thank you, Ziggy. You know what else? There's a reason why when you look over the aerial view of the wells, there's a fucking path. Don Wells house aerial. Let's see if we can find one real quick. There's a path. Let's see if you can see it in this one. No. Can you see it in this one? Yes, you can. Hold on, I want to find a better one, though. What's their address? 110 Ben Hill? Maybe I can do it this way instead. Hold on, I'm using this new mouse, or this magic mouse, and it's tricky. Hold on. Okay. Shit, you can't see it in here. But there's like a trail in the grass walking from the back door to the front. Like a lot of people went that route. You know what I'm saying? I really want to show you though. The visuals are important. Oh, the dog. They say that's the dog path, I guess. I don't know. I never heard that called it. I'm talking about right next to the house. Yeah, you can see it in this one. Okay. Hold on. Let me come back to this screen. All right. So bear with me. How many people do we have here? By the way. My thing says 255. How many we got in here? Okay, so if you look, hold the phone. I got to put this, get my pointer. I'm going to show you. All right. So here is the back, right? And this is the trail from that back door, which is back here, going around. Okay. And so if you look at that, a lot of people walked here. Like, who was all back here, like in and out, going this way and that way, instead of going through the front when they pull in, which is right here. 400. Have you guys hit the like button? Yeah, the dog path is out in the trees. That's what I thought. So who was all that foot traffic back here? I've always wondered that. Maybe nothing, maybe something. I don't know. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. All right, here we go. Let's keep going.
Because sometimes she'll sit right here and just sit here and play just for, you know. And usually when she comes out and she goes directly that way up to the swing.
Oh, yeah. He's going to show
so
it.
This is like her.
Yeah, she
where
just
she
walks.
come running out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can see the path
She'll just
here.
go right to the swing.
Right, you can see where.
He points out the path. Yeah, she said it's to the swing. Yeah, okay. It's not,
Where
though.
she come running out.
It's not.
Oh, yeah, you can see the path
She'll just go
here.
right to the swing.
Right, you can see where she could have run.
It goes right up to the driveway as well. The swing is right by the driveway. Right.
Running out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can see the
She'll
path
just go
here.
right to the swing.
Right, you can see where she could have run right up to
and
here.
this is all the further she would go. She wouldn't leave.
Okay.
She wouldn't go nowhere.
Ain't no kid gonna walk in the same. There's something to that.
Okay.
Cameras, hidden stairs. Nah.
I want to go around this side. What is this blue thing here?
Oh, that was we were putting trash in it,
Okay.
and we did have a trash man at the time, but he stopped running.
Oh, wow.
I gotta wash this.
Okay, I'm gonna film around this side. Now walk me through, what's this little
Oh, that right there?
little cave thing there.
That's not really a cave. Actually, we built this addition, me and Donnie and the kids.
Oh, okay.
What's this little cave here? Look at that. Oh, that's not a cave. We built this addition.
Okay.
And we left this part open because the dog, at the time we did have little puppies. These dogs were little puppies. And we let them go under there. They would run in and out of the brick.
So they built around a litter of puppies. Oh, we put an addition on and there was a litter of puppies in there. So instead of moving them and doing the addition normally, we have a cave.
Over there. There's actually 7 pups up under there now.
Okay.
And
yeah, the windows are all covered. Yeah, it's a dungeon.
It's always been open like that. Well, you can see after you've been here, you can see how mellow the dogs are.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right?
There's a red barrel that says for sale, and there was a video of Summer dancing in front of it in the rain.
They do. They're lazy.
They're kind of a Jack Russell. They got a little Jack Russell in it.
Jack Russell, yeah. Actually, the gentleman that lives over there in the other trailer across the creek actually has the mama to that dog there.
So there's the barrel, or one of the barrels. And this isn't about judging people that don't have money. Don worked drywall. Don made good money. It's not a lack of funds for these people. The music. It's terrifying to me. Look at that shed. Don says, oh, I went to right straight to the shed. Remember?
Now, what's this little shed over here?
Oh, that one there?
Yeah.
That's where Donnie keeps all his tools.
Got it. Hey, can I go look? No.
You can go look, but it's a mess.
No. Okay. No, it's up to, okay, that's fine.
Nothing in there.
Yeah, no worries. I don't want to get in.
I don't want you to get hurt.
Well, and you know what? I don't want other people to.
I don't let my kids in there either.
Yeah, no
It's
problem.
not a place for.
I totally respect that. That's not an issue. But I think this is interesting because this is, you can really clearly see where she runs on this path down here.
It's not the prettiest house in the world, but
Right to the driveway. Right to the driveway. Yes, it was inherited. I think his mother. They did not accept food stamps, nor did they collect state assistance, more than I can say for most on this platform. I don't think this is about that. I think that if you don't want to be on the state's radar, you don't apply for assistance. And Don made more than enough money to support them.
it's not the most beautiful house in the world.
You know what? It's a house.
It's a
You know what? You know, God forbid, you know, anybody judge you for having a bad house. You know, I mean, it is what it is. At least you're putting food on the table
have you
and
seen the food?
trying to do your best. I saw.
And then Allie says that she bought the food.
And then this is over here.
Oh, this is our wood.
This, yeah.
She said, did you see all that food in my house? And Allie says she bought the food. Dude, your daughter's missing.
That's where you do your fire for the kids.
We have a fire that heats the.
Is that an old generator?
Yeah.
Does it work? No, did it at some point?
It worked like over 14, 15 years ago, way before I was here.
Old school bus, you gonna turn that into a camper?
That was my mom's plan. I literally actually rode in that bus when I was a little kid.
Whenever I see a school bus.
All right, we're going to go back to our interview. Yeah, dogs tracked her scent to the dog trail down in the woods.
Okay, so yeah, do you guys have dogs?
Yeah, but they don't know when. They bark at dumb things and don't bark at others.
I know how that goes. I've had dogs like that too. What kind are they?
They're just, people, we've had a few good dogs. People steal those and dump off the ones they don't want. We've had several that were just severely old and could barely get around, and they just die, People just dump.
By the way, JLR and them actually saved the dogs, in my opinion. They brought them food and remember that?
About dogs all the time there.
Yeah, I guess we really don't know if they ever got state assistance as well.
Aw, sometimes those are the best ones to get though, Don.
Yeah.
The ones that everybody else doesn't want.
Yeah.
Aw, that's sad. But
Yeah.
do you think so? You don't think the dogs would have like alerted?
Well, I've driven
If someone-
driveway several times and they don't even know I'm there. I've had to, I walk in the door and they didn't even know I pulled up. So
Yeah.
Somebody could have drove up. It could have been an opportunity with someone seen her. It could have been someone she knows.
I think it's fair to say that not all dogs are territorial and have that demeanor about them. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say that, your dogs could have just looked at somebody if they walked up and walked in your house.
Yeah. Yep.
And you were telling me about like the road you live on is a dead end. Can you kind of describe how you did for me, like the traffic that comes in and out of there?
Yeah, there is a lot of drug traffic. People come in from all hours of the night, going down the road looking for pills or meth or whatever it is they're looking for. And we've caught them. My neighbors have caught them several times parked in our driveway, and they'll, run them out and say,
Okay, so there's a lot of drug traffic on their road, people looking for pills. We have grandmom picking up her prescription. We have Don saying that's why Summer was tuckered out right after saying, yeah, they went and picked up the prescription. And now we have a lot of drug traffic on the road, people looking for pills that were actually parked in their driveway. You saw their driveway.
go do your damn mess somewhere else or whatever, Hours the nights going down the road looking for pills or meth or whatever it is they're looking for. And we've caught them, my neighbors have caught them several times parked in our driveway. And they'll, run them out and say, go do your damn mess somewhere else or whatever,
Yeah.
So that makes them mad, and they'll come by the house and burn rubber and raise all kind of heck, all this stuff. So we've had problems with them before, but lately we've had zero traffic here lately.
It's slowed down. Well, ever since summer, ever since that.
There's been nothing since then.
So so your road is it? I mean, I just see the clips I've seen on the news, and it looks like you live in the country.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
right
how many
in the country.
neighbors do you guys have?
Well, it's hard to see them, with all the trees and everything, but we got neighbors, all around us, really. I mean.
But you can't see them from your house.
I mean, we got John who lives in a trailer about 500 yards away. Our neighbors about 250 yards away.
Everybody is really spread out.
A lot of these guys are really good people.
Right.
They've never had an.
So they're really good people, but there's lots of drug traffic. People looking for pills or meth. Timed out by owner. I have tons of summer videos on J is for Justice. Yes.
Abduction off of Beech Creek before.
And I'm sure they've interviewed all the neighbors and everything,
yeah.
and all the. There was several sex offenders in the area. True, correct?
Yeah. They checked all those out and everything. Yeah, and we put a lot of pressure on the drug traffic, trying to get names of everybody who's been through there and stuff like that. And
yeah.
So, and it's, as far as we can tell, it's none of them.
Right, right. Okay, so I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. So let's go back to the 15th. Because I really, and that's the thing I want to let everybody that's listening know is that I want to keep this about Summer, and I know you want to keep this about Summer.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and I just want to get the, whatever you can clear up about that day is awesome. So
Okay.
so Candace realizes, oh my gosh, Summer's gone. She calls you,
She calls
freaking
me.
out.
Yes.
And what did she say? I can't find her.
She says, I can't find Summer. I can't find Summer. I says, okay, hang up from me and call 911. So she did that. She had to go get her mom's phone because we live in the country. And so when she hung up, I called 911 and they transferred me to Hawkins County. And I threw the rest of my tools in the car and I beat all the police there. We were about 45 minutes away. I probably made it.
You got there first.
So they called 911. He was 45 minutes away and he beat the police there.
Yes.
And when you got there, what was going on?
When I got home, I drove to the bottom property and drove all the way to the bottom of the creek, first thing, and I seen my sons out looking everywhere and my neighbor, and my heart dropped. I knew right then I knew right then she was abducted. I knew it.
I knew right then she was abducted. He didn't think she was lost? He just got the call. He was home before the police. Hey, Crimson. And he knew she was abducted?
Right then I knew right then she was abducted. I knew it. And then when the cops started showing up, everything, I tried telling them that, but they weren't listening to me. And the whole roads got blocked up, driveways, everything got blocked up.
You couldn't even leave. You
couldn't leave, couldn't do nothing. And they weren't listening. I tried to tell them that she was abducted. And they
were they honing in on you at that
they
point?
started,
Yeah.
searching, and me and my wife, and searching the area, and started going out on foot everywhere, stuff like that. But
It must have all like happened so fast for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cut you out. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I just have so many questions running through my head just
Yeah.
of everything that I've read and seen.
Yeah.
So you get home and it's just probably utter chaos.
It really was.
And then everything just the authorities come in and it's just boom, they're all in your house. So they start searching your house immediately.
Yeah.
And they're in there like CSI style.
Well, they come in, I think, the next day, CSI, and collecting all sorts of evidence and stuff, tearing the house apart, looking for stuff, and everything, like a criminal investigation, which, that's fine. That's fine, they're going to do that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, definitely. They bagged up a lot of her clothes. I think the second or third day they started bagging up all her clothes and anything, all kind of stuff.
So sad. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's just part of it,
Yeah, but it shouldn't be anything that ever happens to any.
One of the parts that was really eerie to me is one of the officers said that there was a yellow car, 4-door, that was just flying out of the area that he passed, and he said he couldn't turn around because he had to go to call, to
He was
our
getting
house.
called.
This is when Don dropped the seed about the yellow car. And we later find out that a disgruntled employee of Don's named Dudley drove a yellow 4-door truck. But he's dropping this seed telling me that the cops saw this car racing away, but they couldn't follow it because they had to respond to the house. But we never heard about a yellow car. No, we didn't. Just from him. He said that was really eerie. Listen.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be anything that ever happens to
One
any.
of the parts that was really eerie to me is one of the officers said that there was a yellow car, four-door, that was just flying out of the area that he passed, and he said he couldn't turn around because he had to go to call, to
He was
our
getting
house.
called to your house for a
Right.
missing.
So he couldn't turn around and go after this person, and she could have very well been in that vehicle
Holy smokes!
because he was really flying.
So he made
Yeah.
mention of that, so that
Yes.
could
So
possibly
to
be.
another officer, and
Wow.
I heard it or whatever, and that just has been haunting me ever since. A yellow four-door car of some sort. I don't know.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you live on a dirt road or is it paved?
Well, no, our driveway is dirt up our driveway with we have it goes around the house, but
Oh yeah, because you guys are set back.
So how were people burning rubber in their driveway? Hey everybody, thank you for the compliments on the interview. Hey Carrie. How are they burning rubber on dirt roads?
Back from the road.
Yeah, Ben Hill Road is paved, but it's a dead end road.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ben Hill is paved. I didn't realize that.
our driveway is dirt, gravel, and so.
So did this cop say anything about like whereabouts the car was?
It was headed down Beech Creek Road towards Rogersville, I believe.
And that's pretty close to your place.
Well,
Or not.
Beech Creek Road's a pretty long road. But I'd say, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, would it be
Okay, so I asked him where on Beech Creek. The cop told him he saw this yellow car. See, he couldn't tell me. Listen again.
your place?
Well,
Or not.
Beech Creek Road's a pretty long road. But I'd say, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean,
But
would
it's
it been
not-
like
it was-
10 minutes or, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure on that where it was at.
oh,
but
where it was at on that road?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, I don't know.
insane. Have you asked
Yeah.
them about that again?
No, we're not talking.
They're not giving you any info.
And if you try to talk to one of them guys, usually it's like, well, I'm just a little guy. They don't tell me no. They're all
Yeah.
tight-lipped about everything.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
have to be. They have
I
to
get
be, and I
that.
get it too.
Yeah,
But for
right.
you, it's got to be super frustrating
Yeah, for sure.
to not
Hey,
know
is
if they
she?
know anything, and they can't
Yeah.
share it with you. You know.
Right.
So they immediately start this massive search. Like immediately, it was like because of you guys live in the mountains. It's
Yeah. It was kind of cold that night, so they were concerned about her being out there by herself.
oh yeah.
Which I understand, and I thought at the time, well, maybe somebody.
They were concerned about her being out in the cold. You weren't? Listen to that again.
It was kind of cold that night, so they were concerned about her being out there by herself.
It was kind of cold that night. I've never heard that dude. And they were worried about her being out there by herself.
Oh yeah.
Which I understand, and I thought at the time, well, maybe somebody abducted her and took her off in the woods. So yeah, we had to search, but.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be like the first thing you would think is that either
Yeah.
someone took her out there or she wandered off.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she wanted it, but yeah, somebody could have been on foot too. That's
Correct.
a possibility.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
anything's possible at this point.
Yeah.
And, that's why I want to keep the focus on Summer,
Right.
and off of the rumors about you and your wife and, whatever past you have in your past has nothing to do with why we're here right now,
Right.
and I want you to know you have a lot of support behind.
See, now mind you, I gave them the benefit of the doubt.
You.
I appreciate everybody too.
Yeah, and I want to give you an opportunity to address everyone who's given you so much support and made you feel, better.
Just thank you very much. It really helps a lot when there's so much negativity. I get that kind word here and there that just, that's awesome.
And then you have to ask yourself, why wouldn't he still be speaking to me to this day? Thank you, Auntie Cheryl. Why wouldn't he still talk to me and want me to talk about his daughter? You know what I mean? None of it is right. Like I have a grandfather of a young woman that was murdered. Her murder is unsolved. Do you know that her grandfather still emails me updates, talks about wanting to come on the show at the right time? It's weird.
It really is. It helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need that. You need to know that people are behind you.
Yeah.
Because you gotta feel pretty alone. But you have your church family, correct? Everyone in your church is backing you up and they're supporting you.
Yeah, they were alive. You know, they have cameras throughout the church, but they had to cut that off. I'm gonna try to encourage them to go ahead. I think we're hopefully okay now that we can go back to live because it's important. You know.
Wait, what did he say?
Because you gotta feel pretty alone. But you have your church family, correct? Everyone in your church is backing you up and they're supporting you.
Yeah, they were alive. You know, they have cameras throughout the church, but they had to cut that off. I'm gonna try to encourage them to go ahead. I think we're hopefully okay now that we can go back to live because it's important. You know.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so grandma, that's Candace's mother.
Yeah, right.
Does she live with y'all?
She's got a little trailer. We pulled up there for her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like the mother-in-law suite there at the Wells.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so she lives there on the property with you guys.
Yes.
And everyone wants to know why grandma hasn't spoken out.
Well, because of all the negative media stuff that's happening in this case is what she went through with her daughter when she came up missing 11 years ago.
So this is probably very triggering and for her.
Yeah, she's already lost one daughter, now she's lost her granddaughter the same exact way, except for this was in Wisconsin.
That is just I have no words.
Right. Yeah. So this is a serious problem in our country. I mean, I guess Mexico's probably worse with this issue, but it shouldn't happen in the United States. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the statistics that you told me you looked up are scary.
Yeah. Yeah. 15 abductions since Summer's been missing and 250 since 2020 here in the Tri-Cities area in Eastern Tennessee.
One is too many, but yeah. I mean, it is. And you know, I just want you to know that all of us are behind you guys and Summer.
Appreciate
and
that.
Summer.
Sure.
I'm trying to think if I had another question for you.
I just wish there was a way we could pull together or convince the military or something to convince in and try to find all these kids.
I know it.
It's crazy.
I know it.
Absolutely insane.
I talked to a lady that lives in Texas that runs like a human trafficking group where they rescue these girls.
Really?
They're they're part of like a sting, and then they get these girls and get them back and, you know, take them to the doctor and try to find their families. It's crazy. And the stories is heartbreaking.
Wow.
It doesn't even sound like something that could happen in America, but it does.
Yeah. Yeah. Crime's getting worse for sure in so many ways. And so, you know, drugs, meth, and just keeps coming across the border like nothing. But, you know,
He said drugs and meth again. Is she? I think White Boy. I'm not sure who else. I don't know if he still talks to Cher. Thank you, Stacy. No, Candace would. Nope. She didn't want to talk. She didn't talk to nobody then. What's your opinion on what may have happened to Summer? And also, what are your opinions for Rose? I don't know. Honestly, I think they could have like drugged her and gave her too much. Wouldn't be the first time.
open borders, I don't know for sure, but when I went to Mexico, they didn't even check you going to Mexico. You know,
right?
Coming back, yeah, but going across to Mexico, they didn't check you at all. I don't even see why they'd stop anybody from going across the border. The people, they'll stop you from swimming across the Rio Grande, but you go swimming the Rio Grande to Mexico, they don't have no reason to stop you for that.
Right, right.
Yeah, you take a bunch of kids and swim across that river, and
So we've got Mexico being brought up. I mean, all of this kind of sounds like At Night got their narratives from this kind of shit.
them kids are gone.
I know. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
It is. It really
Because our
is.
children are our innocents, you know.
Yeah. I just wish the military would step in somehow. It's just, I wish I had somebody to talk to about that, and the higher ups or anything.
The higher ups. He said that in the interview that he did today. The higher ups.
I feel like Trump might do something about it if he.
Trump. In today's interview, he said Biden administration didn't do nothing. Hear this shit? How can you believe anything?
I wish I had somebody to talk to.
No, Don Wells hates Josh. No. Don Wells hates Josh.
And somehow it's just, I wish I had somebody to talk to about that, and the higher ups or anything. I feel like Trump might do something about it if he was in office.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's gonna start some controversy there.
Well,
We
I'm
start-
sure.
But shoot, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
No, you're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine. That's what happens when I start reading the live chat. I can't read that and talk. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'll bet.
It's too much. But I wanted to ask about the boys. How I know you've got them out swimming today and trying to keep things as normal as possible. What are their ages? And
13, how old are you? 11, and how old's Waylon? 9. I'm not
wow.
on birthdays. Sorry.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So how are they holding up, and what
They're
are they?
doing okay. Let them stop a minute and think about summer. We're upset about that, but they can go a lot further, longer than I can without thinking about it. But I don't know. They seem to be doing fine, especially the youngest one.
I mean, are they? Yeah, and they didn't hear anything.
They can go longer without thinking about her. Why would you assume that? Those are her brothers.
So that was another question. When Candace went inside, I'm sure she went to the boys and said, "Where's Summer?" And they said she's playing downstairs. Did I'm sure the boys were interviewed by police and all that.
Yeah, they took them to specialists because you can't just interview kids. So
Right.
They had to take them clear to some specialist somewhere to be interviewed.
Right.
You have to do it a certain way.
Right. And I just want to make note that the boys are in yours and Candace's custody at your home right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Unless the threats continue and get worse. Yeah.
The threats. What do you mean?
There's been lots of threats of people who are going to come up here.
Oh, that sounds like Seth, doesn't it? Sounds like Seth. People coming up there threatening him. I never believe this. Listen.
And Candace's custody at your home right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Unless the threats continue and get.
So he knew. He had an inkling that those boys were going to be taken. Because he said, oh, if the threats continue, DCS is going to take them.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Unless the threats continue and get worse. Yeah.
The threats. What do you mean?
There's been lots of threats of people who are going to come up here and going to beat the truth out of us and all kind of other stuff. And we've had people come up one night with flashlights and we had to call the police. And I don't know, just stuff like that, stuff that people put on there.
What are the police doing about those type of things?
The FBI warned them on Facebook that something, I can't remember, but, all this, I don't remember. But there's one guy, he was being real threatening to me, and I said, well, I'll make sure I let the FBI know about what you're saying. I told him, if you don't stop, I'm going to the FBI. Give him that chance. Mm-hmm. So I haven't heard nothing since. So
you're really, really, really fair to, considering the situation, you're being very fair. So do you feel like the authorities are, protecting you guys from that kind of stuff? Like they're I don't know how I want to word it, not protecting you, but like if you have something like that happen, do you feel like they're taking you serious?
Oh yeah, yeah, I think they are.
You feel respected by
Well,
them?
yeah, they've been the FBI and all of them has been really great. To be honest with you, there's been a couple guys of them police that probably think that I'm guilty somehow, or that have been. I don't know. I just get bad vibes from them, but they've been professional, and some of them's been really, really cool. Very cool.
Right. I
Yes.
mean, there's always bad seeds in every bunch,
Right. Absolutely.
But I mean, just for the most part, you feel like
Yeah,
everything's going like it should be.
Yeah, they've been more than really good to us. Yes. And I've probably been unfair because I've said some bad things because I'm upset, just like everybody in the
Sure.
was upset. I've said bad things that I don't really mean,
Sure.
just because I'm frustrated.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Don, your little girl's missing. I mean, you get a free pass to be an ass every now and then, okay?
Okay.
You really do. You really do. And I want to go back to just real quick. I'm going to let you go in just a minute because I know you're busy with your family. But I just wanted to ask about the polygraphs because we didn't talk about that yet.
Right.
So you and Candace both took polygraphs. Just
Well,
one?
Yeah. Well, I hadn't slept for like 2 days. Couldn't sleep. And so when I got around to doing my polygraph, which I agreed to do, I kept falling asleep, so I couldn't. They told
Oh my God. After following Sebastian's case for a year, I can't.
I fell asleep.
polygraph, which I agreed to do. I kept falling asleep, so I couldn't. They told me go home, get some sleep. So I went home and I tried my best to get sleep.
Yeah.
So the next day I took it and passed. And then they got Candace in there, and her nerves and everything's so bad, she just couldn't do it at all. So they gave her like 4 or 5 days to come back and do her polygraph test, and she passed.
So you guys you had to come back because you weren't feeling well. You were falling asleep. Obviously, they're not going to get an accurate result. So I wouldn't really call that you completed one. You really completed just one, not two.
Well, I couldn't complete the one,
right?
So I completed the second one. Yes.
So you were nodding off during it because you were
right. Yes, that's right.
I said nodding off. Oh my God.
Right.
You can't ask CPS to take your kids.
One, yes.
So you were nodding off during it because you were
right. Yes, that's right.
So people have said that she failed one, that Candace failed one and then took a second.
No, it's just that she couldn't, she didn't fail it, she just couldn't do it. She's just so upset,
Yeah.
Some of them questions, that they ask you just brings back, the first.
Oh, it brings back what? Memories? Oh, shit.
That they ask you just brings back, the first. If you can get summer off your mouth, she's just so upset,
Yeah.
Some of them questions, that they ask you just brings back, the first. If you can get summer off your mind for just 2 seconds, which is impossible, but some questions, bring it all back and you lose it,
Yeah.
Would you hurt? Have you done something with your little girl, or what? Just questions, they have
Wait,
to ask.
what was it?
Did you hurt? Have you done something with your little girl, or what? Just questions, they have to ask. Did you hurt your little girl?
Have you done something with your little girl? Did you hurt your little girl?
Whatever, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you guys both were told that you passed them.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. No
Thanks,
problem.
Mitten.
And they have, and the investigators have come back a few times, you said, to search the house.
Yes.
and took some of Summer's things. One last question for you
Okay.
before I let you go.
Alrighty.
Do you think that Summer would have gone off with someone willingly? Just being innocent, social
I
little
don't know.
Summer?
I don't know now if maybe if some of our church members, some of them, like, I mean, yeah, I mean, they might, she might go up to them and say hi because she loves them so much, but I know they would never.
Yeah, I mean, I think
You
any
know what I mean?
child has an innocence about them, and that's why, you know, this back in the 80s when I was growing up,
Yeah.
it was, can you help me find my puppy?
Yeah.
Because no innocent little child
Yeah.
is going to say no.
Right.
No,
I mean,
and
that's
it's
possible. I mean, I don't know. Anything's possible. Yeah, words like that, puppy and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
these people that want to take children, they use all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, is it possible that Summer came back outside and no one saw? Is your house
Well, yeah,
layout
I mean,
like,
it's possible she come out the back door, and you know, because she liked to play behind the house there. We planted some roses. Her and Summer and her mother planted some roses
See?
there.
See? She'd like to play out back. That's funny. We saw the little trail, and Candace said she liked to run to her swing. She liked to play back there. We had some roses there. Like, what?
outside and no one saw? Is your house
Well, yeah,
layout
I mean,
like,
it's possible she come out the back door, and you know, because she liked to play behind the house there. We planted some roses. Her and Summer and her mother planted some roses there and some other flowers, and she likes to just play right there, especially when it's cooler out because the sun always shines right there really good. She loved to be outside, and there's many.
She loved to be outside. But when grandma and mom are planting flowers, she wants to go into the dungeon. Make it make sense.
Times we'd be in the house, and I'd say, "You guys left Summer outside alone. Go get her." And we,
right,
because she didn't want to be inside.
right.
She wanted to be outside.
She just loved to be outside playing.
You know, and that's what kills me because if she's locked away somewhere and she can't be outside and play and all this stuff, and the fright and the trauma, just the thought of all that just kills me. It really does. You know,
Yeah,
when I get alone, them thoughts come to me more and more.
I can imagine. I mean,
Uh,
well, our thoughts are all with you and,
I
the
appreciate
rest of
it.
your family. And, you know, if you ever want to speak out and clear anything that in the future, you know, you have an open door here, and I just want to thank you.
Well,
And
and that still stands, and he does not want to speak to me. So make it make sense.
We are praying for Summer's safe
and I appreciate
return.
all them prayers, and I just hope God answers them soon, you know, in his time. But
For
yeah,
sure,
thank you.
for sure. Go enjoy
very
those
much.
boys, Don.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Okay, all righty.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, so that was June, what again? 3rd. We got one more. We have a follow-up from Donald. July the 24th. I speak to Donald again. And this picture on the left has always bothered me too because it looks like he's been fucking crying. It looks like he's been fucking crying. And she looks limp. I don't like it. That's always bothered me. But yeah, that house was real safe with all the exposed wires and things. But here is Rhonda, part 2. This is a follow-up after the boys were taken by CPS. July 24th, 2021. If liars that are giving... Sorry.
Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are on this fabulous Saturday. I come to you with an update from Don Wells. Y'all, I got the tea. And I'm not happy to share the tea. I mean, I'm happy to let. And no, Summer hasn't been found or anything like that. How are we? Thank you, Mom, this morning. And I have the call I'm going to play for you guys. It's about 9 minutes. So let's let some more people join before
Hold on. Let me fast forward.
I play this 9-minute phone call. Oh, hold on. From the minute he answered the phone, it was a different Don. So while we're wait, thumbs up that interaction. My voice is always raspy, but I'm telling you, it's this red tide. It's got me happening, and it's thumbs down. Thanks. All right, let's roll the Don call.
All right, here we go, guys. It's rumored because of lice. I don't know, though. 4 years ago.
Hello?
Don.
Hey.
Hey, it's Jay.
Hey.
Hey, I haven't talked to you in a little bit. I wanted to call and check in on you.
Yeah, everything's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you don't sound good.
No, me and my wife's just been going through a lot.
Are the kids okay?
They're fine. They're fine.
The rumor is that they were taken out of the home. Were they taken from you guys? Were they? Oh no.
Yeah.
Yesterday?
A couple days ago.
I'm so sorry.
Right now, with everybody attacking us and all this stuff going on, right now, it's probably better for them.
Was it for their safety? Like, from that?
No, there's more to it than that, but...
Uh-oh. Is it more in the case with... What's...
These cops and everything.
Are you there?
Things, and everywhere we go, they take pictures of us, and it's on and on and on. It's just never ending.
Yeah, were people still coming to the house? You cut out for a second there.
Well, yeah, we had the cops come up there the other day. They wanted Candace to do another, lie test, but I told her, unless it's TBI, don't do it, because they're just trying to hem you in on something.
Is this the sheriff that wants her to do it?
I don't know for sure, but
wow.
I mean, I'll cooperate fully with TBI.
Have you guys thought about getting an attorney?
Yeah, we have an attorney.
Oh, okay. What does he think she should do?
What's that?
Does he think she should do it or no? Like he should be giving you guys advice. You know?
I haven't talked to him about that. I wouldn't do it unless it's, like I told her, unless it's TBI. I'm willing to work with them. They're more of a professional. I'm not going to go with some county trying to nail us for something we ain't done.
Right.
I ain't even going to talk to them.
Right. Did she tell them that?
No, I'll tell them that at all. I mean, all of them that, whatever, but it's just...
They don't want you to do one, though, just her.
No, yeah, just her, you know.
Yeah, everybody's really pointing fingers at her. They really are.
Yeah, and they're all dead wrong.
And you know that Hunter's mother, Allie, and her son, these interviews, they came out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy came and saw you guys, didn't he? Chris or whatever? Did he come to your house? Chris McDonough?
Not that I know of. I don't know.
Dude, there's so much going on. I had to check.
He acts like he didn't know that McDonough was there. Who thinks that Don was there and went and hid in that shed while McDonough was there?
In with you because there's so much swirling around and I just want to get it from you.
It's just crazy. I mean, she's at the end of her ropes, you know. She ain't got a friend, one, hardly, except for in church. We have a few friends, and even they question stuff. That's just ridiculous.
So you feel like everybody's turning on her?
Everybody's turning on both of us.
On you, too? Because I've heard
Oh,
the one lady that sat down with Allie, what was her name, Missy or Misty?
yeah, it's
She's,
just
she
crazy.
didn't say anything bad about you. She was
Yeah,
going for Candace.
yeah, and I don't see why. They don't have, thing of it is, they don't, they're just grasping for straws, man. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what the TBI knows. They don't know anything, nothing.
Right.
The TBI don't believe she had anything to do with it. You know, why would this? I mean, you know, a lot of parents do this crazy stuff to their kids, but Candace is not one. She loves Summer with all her heart, and it's ripping her apart.
So, yeah, with that, I want to ask, like, people are saying that she was jealous of Summer because of your relationship with Summer.
Oh, that's all BS.
You never
That
felt
is
like
such-
she was jealous of her and the attention you
Why
gave
would
her?
she be?
Well, I don't think she should be. I mean, that's a totally different kind of relationship.
Be jealous of her daughter's love with her dad. That's ridiculous.
Right. You would be grateful that your husband loves
Yeah,
you.
she was grateful.
Yeah.
She wasn't. Was the case? Yeah, I love her, but she was never jealous of that. That's my daughter. What is her to be jealous of? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think it's bizarre.
They're nuts. I'll tell you that right now. They're all nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
And it
just
just
crazy.
goes on and on and on. And the only relief that we have is when we open our Bible and read a little bit about God's love, because that's the only love there is in this world. That's it.
That's why I wanted to call you today. I don't know if that's inappropriate because I know it's your Sabbath. I wasn't calling to bother you, but I was thinking about you, and I
It's
knew
okay
that.
to do good on the Sabbath.
Yeah, and I just was thinking about you, and I wanted to check in and let you know that somebody was thinking about you, and just to, see how you guys are holding up, because these interviews that I've seen.
Satan's trying to tear our world apart, and he's had a high degree of success, but we're trying not to allow him to tear us apart any more than he already has.
It's all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, they come at me and said I had somebody, either posing or said they had the inside scoop with TBI, and that they knew that I sold my daughter for drugs. And I flipped out. I believed that stuff. Like I believed it. Then I flipped out. I started drinking and everything else. That's why they took our kids.
Oh no,
But
Don.
I'm not gonna let it happen again, though.
Yeah. I mean, I understand you're under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. Is that why you've stayed off of Facebook? Just staying away from it?
It's just so ridiculous. You can't.
Well, you stopped posting on Facebook, so the rumor swirling around was that you had left town and you were MIA. So everybody was like, is Don around? Is Don around? Yeah. Well, I'm glad you stepped away from social media. I think that was the best thing for you.
I'm trying to get Candace to do the same thing, because
she's still on there.
Everything they do is just hate.
And be safe. I mean, you don't want to give anybody any ammo to twist anything at this point.
And no matter what you say, they're going to twist it around.
I know.
No
So
matter
it's
what
better
you
off
say.
staying off that shit.
Yeah.
I've seen other families go through this, and it's not pretty, and it doesn't get better. It gets worse. It gets worse. I just want you to know that, not everybody is against you.
I warned them on July 24th, 2021.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I appreciate it.
Can I ask you, though, there was did you watch that interview with Allie?
I watched a little bit of it. So ridiculous.
What happened? Oops, it cut out. Hold on.
Had parked by the house and that was moved? Okay. I just thought that was odd. Yeah.
Yeah, she's real odd. And then they said they was going to go press charges against Candace for giving Hunter alcohol and some tobacco. And the facts of it is he stole it out of the truck. He stole something.
Did the police even talk to her?
So I think Candace was buying Hunter vapes, and he's saying that Hunter stole the vapes.
about that?
Candace is a nervous right thing.
Oh, I don't blame her. You know, are you able to see or talk to the boys?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're working on all that.
All right. Well, I wish you the
We're working on all that.
best with that.
I appreciate it. Thank
All
you
right.
very
I'll
much. I
talk to you
appreciate
soon.
it.
All right. God
Okay,
bless.
bye.
All right. Bye.
Well, that was it. And then that was when I was hit up by the news saying, you know, can we interview you because the boys were taken? And then that was when the boys were taken. So yeah, the first call was only 18 days after Summer went missing. Wait, what is this one? Correction from Dawn? Hold on. Let me see what this is.
Would have custody of their 3 children under the age of 12. What do you think of that? I mean, have you ever heard of a case where there was suspected that there was, you know, one child possibly...
God, I was so young.
You don't know if the ex-friend is telling the truth.
Hold on. Let's see. What did we have to correct in this one, Jay?
No one knows. These 2 people, this mom and dad could be completely 150. Could have been like, fuck that bitch. But she wasn't. She was like, shit, I don't know her. What about her? And not only is this chick, Hunter's mom, coming out of the wood.
Oh, this is about Allie.
To say, she was mean to her kids. She was mean. She yelled at them. But she didn't have a problem with it probably a week prior to having the falling out.
That was when I first got my dreads, too. Hold on. I don't know if I have an update from him.
You know, he also told me.
Wait, here we go.
It's irresponsible. And I've learned, and that's fine. You know, other people can do what they want. But I've learned, and I don't like how I feel doing that. So it's my moral compass, I guess.
Oh, he's not a cop. That's Ernie Shell, and I didn't follow anything with Ernie Shell in this case. Nothing with him. The guy is a LARPer, and he's like mentally ill.
You learn. Sherry Thomas, I appreciate that. I don't find that to be, you know, they'll forget, like, oh, did he turn 12 last birthday or 11? I mean, you're talking about much. Yes, he's probably not sleeping like he said. And who cares? I mean, really, who cares, Wyatt, how old he was? Damn shit. Because I lost a 9-year-old son in a car accident. Just make sure you don't ever, ever, ever want it.
I'm not sure what this update is supposed to
Records
be.
from Don, if you guys have those, like I said, I did not look into like this whole family with a fine-tooth comb. If there's arrest or like court documents, if you can like email them to me, jisforjustice@gmail.com.
This was July 5th.
I'd like to see what's in his history, because he said to me, I have a past. I'm not denying that. I am no angel, but I'm not that person. And I think it's important, not just for him, but for people in general, to remember that.
See, that was July 5th of 2021. So this was before we knew everything that we know now.
I always do, Blair. I always am.
Oh, look at my cactus in the picture of me and Georgia dog.
Fair. I just wish everybody was the same.
Yeah, Ernie is like the LARPer side of this case. I never followed that stuff. I was on the factual side of things.
And if their own actions hurt them, then they're the ones that have to pay the price for that. We're not here to be attacking them right now. This is still an ongoing investigation. We still don't know what's going to happen. We don't know anything. So unless you guys think the boys had something to do with this, shut up. And I say that in the most kind fashion.
Oh my God. And there's the Coke Zero when the cans used to be black. Oh my gosh, how times have changed. How times have changed. It's okay, is she? I'm not against questions. I'm just saying that was like, if you take, okay. So for example, there was kind of a green team, if you will, doing Summer Wells. Except the green team was like Ernie Shell. You had Cher sending Don naked pictures. There was a whole group of people. Like Cher went to Don and said, "Don't talk to Jay is for Justice. She's this, she's that, she's the other." She later apologized about it, but it was all a grab to see who could talk to the Wells. And then when it was all said and done and the dust settled, they didn't want to talk to anybody. And that's when White Boy reached out. So that's how that went. So let's see what the result of the poll is. Do you believe the wells are cleared, or is there more to it? Definitely more, 74%. They are 100% cleared, 26%. Yeah, she sent naked pictures. Yeah, but she told him not to talk to me anymore. And then he's never spoken to me again. Recording was fake. I don't even know what recording you're talking about. Someone said Prayer Garden sent. Oh, gosh. Behind the scenes, true crime is much more. That's the crama, right, Cammie? So, yeah, in 2 days now, it's the 13th. In 2 days now will be 4 years that Summer Wells has been missing. And for whatever reason, they're speaking out. It brought attention to her case tonight, and for that, I'm grateful. But I don't believe that they're cleared. I don't believe any of that. This is when I started following you. Summer brought me to this sector of YouTube. I thought YouTube was for music and tutorials before Summer vanished. You know that I'm not going to laugh at you because Chris Watts was the same thing for me. Hey, Wolf Rider. A whole ass mess. Betty sent risque photos thinking she could get in that way. Molly was like, "Oh, come over here, Don, I'll suck you off." I mean, it was absolute craziness. But it's not the first high profile, trending case that I've been through. I love you too, Ishi, and I hope your knee feels better. She would be 9 years old, yep. I wonder if is there an updated thing, or is it still the same, the age thing? Oh, here's another short clip. Let's see what this one is.
We're home. Everybody's a suspect, so all I know is someone took her from there.
The anguish, the unknowing, appearance.
There, look at for sale right here. Look. If you've never seen it, or if you wanted a refresher. The barrel says for sale and she's dancing around in it. Hey, Lee Bird. And this is just a short clip from 2 days ago? June 11th.
It's been 4 years since Summer Wells vanished from her home.
Everybody's a suspect, so all I know is someone took her from there.
The anguish, the unknowing, a parent's worst nightmare. The disappearance of Summer Wells, Thursday at 6.
So did this air already? We need to watch it. WCBY. Let's see. Right here. Oh, we did this one. Okay. This is that one we watched. That must have been an old clip that they showed. When is that from? Hold on. When did he say that?
It's been 4 years since Summer Wells vanished from her home.
Everybody's a suspect, so all I know is someone took her from there.
Everyone's a suspect. Hear that? Everyone's a suspect. Let's see what this one is.
This weekend marks 4 years since a Hawkins County girl was last seen. 5-year-old Summer Wells was reported missing from her home on Ben Hill Road in the Beech Creek community on June 15th.
There she is.
15th, 2021. On your left, the photo shared by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation when the Amber Alert was issued. On your right, an age-progressed photo released 2 years ago of what she may look like. News Channel 11's Ansley Daniel spoke with Summer's father, Don Wells, as the 4-year mark of his daughter's disappearance approaches.
Nearly 4 years ago, 5-year-old Summer Wells disappeared from her home here in Hawkins County. It's believed that she walked out of this door and hasn't been seen since. And today, there are still no answers as to where she could be.
It's 4 years too long. My thoughts and feelings haven't changed. I mean, it's been heartbreak, continual heartbreak for the past 4 years.
This very yard is one of the last places Don Wells' daughter Summer was known to be.
We love and miss her very much and wish that she could come home very much because she was kind of the bossy boss around here, and we just miss our children, man. We had 4 children running around here like crazy.
The then 5-year-old has been at the center of an Amber Alert since June 15th of 2021. Crews searched the Beech Creek community for weeks, with law enforcement receiving numerous tips that never panned out.
We haven't talked to them in a long time. We let Chris and Trudy, our private detectives, deal with TBI in Hawkins County because, I don't know, anyway, it's just better that they do that.
These faded signs all throughout the Beech Creek community are a sign of hope that Summer Wells could still come home nearly 4 years after she disappeared from her home on Ben Hill Road.
It's very bad, and and then when you add the social media pressure, of them saying that we're suspects or whatever, that just adds to it, and it's kind of living a nightmare.
Summer's mother, Candace, has only spoken to us on camera once. She declined to be a part of this interview minutes before we started recording.
She wanted to, but all them fears started creeping up, of what happened, in the beginning with the social media and everything, hunting us down everywhere we go and trying to basically ruin us everywhere we go, and she's just having nightmares.
After Summer's disappearance, the Wells' 3 oldest boys were put into Department of Children's Services custody, with Dawn and Candace eventually signing their rights over.
We haven't received any updates from them, no contact.
They're not
in
going
fact,
to.
we deleted their phone number or blocked my phone as soon as we got done with that case and signed our children over.
And still today, one word describes their entire situation.
It's heartbreaking.
In Hawkins County, Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.
Well, there you heard it in his own words, out of his own mouth. We signed him over. Why do you think you're going to get updates? I don't understand that. But one more thing here. Hold on. I want to just show you guys something. I'm not all about, CPS taking kids and stuff like that, okay? I just want to make that clear. But I want to show you guys something. So it was reported that the oldest boy was on a website looking for a forever home. He's getting older. He's going to be 18, and he's going to need guidance from a family. Yeah, as soon as we got out of that case. But I want to show you. This is from an interview that Don did just within days of Summer going missing. That's Don and Josie, the oldest boy. Okay. This is Josie now. And I'm not saying he's better off. I don't know. I don't know these people. But I will say that he's a handsome young man. And he looks scared to death. So, take it for what you will. They signed over their rights. And that's it. I mean, I don't want to exploit the kid. I don't want to keep it up there. But it is what it is, guys. And when someone signs over their rights, again, they're not going to keep a case open. There's no reason to. The people don't have any kids anymore. Don sent a text that said the kids don't want to come back. It wouldn't surprise me. But if you think about it, I think he was 12. He'd be going on 16. In a couple years, he's going to be an adult. And he's going to need guidance through life. The other two are a bit younger. But he needs a family that is going to support him as an adult. Yeah, it was from the adoption site. They gave their children up, and they didn't have to face any consequences for neglect and or abuse. Angels, they had a lawyer. They didn't sign it blindly. I don't believe they didn't know what they were doing. Candace this isn't her first rodeo. She did this in Wisconsin. So I hope and pray that he gets a forever family too. He really, really deserves that. But they don't have you sign over your rights without a lawyer explaining everything. Remember when I did the interview? He said they have a lawyer. That was their family law attorney. They explain everything. They don't just hand you papers and say, here, sign this. No. Nope, they're not going to risk those kids being drugged through the system, being adopted, and then these parents coming back saying we didn't understand it. It don't work that way. The church is a Seventh-day Adventist church. It's just a small church. It is hard, and that's why they have the website, Susie. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of people that want to take in 16-year-olds that are in the system. Oh, yeah, Wolf Rider, for sure they're aware. It's like I said, it's not her first rodeo. I mean, this woman has 6 children that were taken by the system. There comes a point where you have to take accountability for your fucking actions. And that's the lesson of the day. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think they live in their own reality, angels. I hope he finds a family that will love him and care for him through life, People get mad at one another and weaponize CPS. Yeah, they do. But I don't think this is a case of that. I mean, yes, absolutely there's corruption. It doesn't mean there's corruption in this case. With CPS anyways. I don't know. Is she? I was thinking about that. I'm like, what if he doesn't find a home? Then what happens when he turns 18? You know, does he just get tossed out? I mean, I don't know how the system works. I'm not familiar with the foster care system. Yeah, me too. I wonder if Don will try and contact Josie after he's 18. Yeah, that's a good question, Susie. Maybe. I mean, stranger things have happened, right? No, I don't follow her. Mercedes, what did she say? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't begin to think how, I can't imagine how Josie feels. I wouldn't even begin. I don't think parents or kids ever hate their parents. Oh, a transition home. That's sad. Yeah, you're late. I'm just getting ready to wrap this one up. I'm tired. Tired. I do know that the foster care system, there's been plenty of pedos. Some people do hate their parents. I'm talking about children. Like children don't really know better. Like they always love their parents, even abused kids. That's what I meant. I don't mean like grow up and be adults and like work through trauma and shit and realize that your parents are shit bags. I'm not on a side either. I'm just on the side of common sense. You can't ignore everything that we just went over. You just can't. It's just confusing that how someone could not want them that. Yeah, it's fucked up. In Tennessee, he'll be helped to the age of 21. So he'll get to go to college. Oh, nice. I mean, if his foster family wanted him, though, why would he be on a website? You know, I don't like that. The video equipment, yep, me too. All of it bothers me. The hidden door, saying this is where she played. No. Mm-mm. Well, we could only hope for the best for the kids, right? And if anything, Don talking made us talk about summer tonight. He's still around, cram it. I've heard he's still around. Well, if he gets a free ride to college, that's awesome. I mean, I'd rather see him go to college than go to the military, to be honest. Yeah, I think if the foster family wanted to adopt, though, he wouldn't be like on the website. Oh yeah, I think he's around. Right, Autumn? It was disturbing as hell. I think he's still driving around. I caught him one night. Oh, nice, FSU girl. Oh, there is a such thing. Look at what FSU girl just said, Liza. She adopted her son from the CPS system at 3 weeks, and he has a free ride to college. I don't like the shed either. Yeah, okay, so I just went and looked at Chasing Truth's post. That's from Don Wells' X account. We already went over that. It's called Delusions. They had holes in the walls and floor. Well, we saw a camera when Chris McDonough was there. Yeah, I listened to Mary. That's why I said earlier, like, oh, nice. They can get as many degrees as long as it's Florida. That's really nice that they do that. It gives them a break on that. I wonder if it's limited to Tennessee. I don't know. You can always inquire. Hey, Mercedes. I didn't hear about holes or anything, but we saw the wires and it really is all sad. Because at the end of the day, Summer's missing, you know? Cheryl T., I know you've never held back, girl. Well, if you're in the system, I think they're trying to give like the kids that didn't have the privileges like everybody else a chance to get an education. And I think that's awesome. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for joining. I think it's been a great discussion tonight. I picked up on some things I didn't pick up on before. But one night, maybe we can watch Don and Josh. There's still some videos out there of the Don and Blue Gumballs. I know. But if you know anything about Summer Wells' disappearance, 1-800-TBI find, guys. Let's run our credits. Thank you, Ishi, in the chamber for our credits. We'll see you guys in the next one.